real estate office. And as always, we are very excited to have just published our most recent issue of Lake and Country. The cover you can see right here. We're very excited about this beautiful spring cover. Probably more excited that it's getting a little warm around here, isn't it?
It is nice.
It is just a great time to be in Wisconsin, and we appreciate you joining with us here tonight. Before we get started with our little recap of the magazine, I want to introduce you to Stephanie Witkevich.
Hello.
How's it going?
Great.
Thank you so much for being here tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. So Stephanie is joining us from the Sharing Center, which is a food pantry that we have featured in this issue of Lake and Country. And Stephanie came here tonight to talk to us a little bit about what they do down at the food pantry.
Sure. So I am the food pantry manager, and then we also have several volunteers and on staff. And what we basically do, other than providing food for the community, we also have services that help people with domestic violence, homelessness. We can help people with rental assistance. We can help people find employment, veterans assistance, energy assistance.
Wow.
We're working on a new opportunity to help people get a better grasp of their finances. So we're basically a one-stop shop for services for anything that anyone might need in the community.
That's great. Mm-hmm. Well, we have really enjoyed supporting your food pantry over the years through the Keefe Cares Foundation, and one of our missions is to not only provide financial assistance, but help the organizations sort of get their message out and whatever they need to get out to the public. Mm-hmm. So one of the things I did, of course, read is that you guys have 200 volunteers yearly.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes. We're very thankful for all of the community support that we receive. And young and old, all walks of life, people are very generous in giving their time to us. And we could never accomplish what we do there without the people that are helping us.
Well, it's great to hear you get that much support from the community. Do you need more? Do you always need volunteers?
Absolutely. We welcome anyone. We love it, and it's a lot of fun, actually. One of the things that is great is that not only are you serving your community, but you do bond a lot of close friendships and personal relationships while you're there. So
I'm sure.
Been very fortunate.
Where exactly is the Sharing Center? I should have asked.
We're in Trevor. We're actually right in front of the newer fire station on Highway C.
Okay. Have you always been in that location?
No. Actually, they had moved from Salem, and the building that we are currently in actually was the old fire station before they built the new one.
Well, that's a good way to
lots of good space for us.
I read in the article that it was founded by Rick and Kathy Fors, who turned their garage into a food pantry originally and actually allowed people to sleep in their personal camper for emergency housing. Is that right?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I believe it was in the early 80s when that happened, and it just grew because the community was invested in giving the help that they started. So, yeah.
It always starts somewhere, right?
Yeah.
And how many, how many individuals do you think you're serving now in any given year?
Well, I'm a newer employee. I just started in August of last year, but I can tell you from my standpoint, because I'm in charge of the food distribution, we distribute about 300,000 to 400,000 pounds of food a year.
Wow.
So family-wise, it ranges, and I've come into the situation during, the pandemic, so I've seen things from a different light. But we're definitely probably 100 or more families a week.
Okay, that's a lot of people. I mean,
it's
great that you're able to support so many. Of course, it's not always so great to hear that there are so many people in need.
Right.
What are some of the specific needs that you guys have right now that people possibly could help with? I'm putting you on the spot a little.
Oh, no, that's okay. As far as donors are concerned, or
just anything. What kind, is there any specific needs?
Well, right now we are trying to upgrade some of the things in the building to help support our clients in a better way. So we are going through the process of trying to determine how to best utilize our space to accommodate people who might need things. We do work with a lot of outside community organizations that will come in and meet with our clients personally. So you know, we want to give everybody their privacy and be able to freely speak to these other organizations if needed. So if someone finds that they might need domestic violence support or help in that area of their life, we are trying to determine the best way to utilize the space to give them that opportunity to talk. And veterans services and such, so as senior services. So right now, you know, monetary donations are always good because we're trying to upgrade and do the best we can. You know, we also help with, like I said, rental support. And there are clients and families out there that have an emergency need. Perhaps they've had a house fire and they've lost everything. We are a place that they can come to get household items. They can get clothing, they can get emergency food, obviously, and things that they might need to carry on their daily life.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's a lot of support.
and we always take food donations.
Okay.
And we take pet food donations
Pet food.
too.
I've heard that from
Yeah.
the food pantries.
Yeah.
That they need, not people don't always think about
Yep.
the pet food. So food, pet food, money, of course, and then
and time.
volunteer time.
Yes,
Okay.
definitely.
Do you have a website people could go to?
Of course, it's www.thesharingcenter.net.
.net.
Yes.
Okay.
And they can go there to find out about volunteer opportunities or donation opportunities.
Great. Well, thank you so much for joining us
Thank
here
you.
tonight and
Appreciate
sharing a little
it.
bit more about what the Sharing Center does. It's, you know, these the food pantries and everything that our organizations do so much, such important work in our communities to make our communities that much stronger and better for everyone. So we really appreciate it.
I thank
And,
you.
Yeah, thanks for joining us tonight.
Okay.
All right. We'll see you around. And now we are going to be joined by Jacqueline Lechner. Hi, Jacqueline.
Hi.
How's it going?
It's good. How are you?
Very good.
All right. Are you getting tired of the COVID thing? You ready to like kick these
Oh,
off
yeah.
live?
Oh yeah, we
Right?
are ready to be back to our live events, but
Yeah.
we still, you know, are glad we can do something to bring out, you know, because you're relatively new to Keith and Lake and Country, but I think you've probably seen the magazine around, and you know, just for people who are tuning in, Lake and Country, you know, of course we're published by Keith Real Estate, so there's a lot of real estate related information in it and listings and all that, which are fun to look at. But what we really do have a lot of fun with is just highlighting the best things about our communities. And so we really enjoy having this event and just trying to shine more light on all those cool things. So that's why we're
Yeah,
here.
I noticed in this episode or in this publication, you actually chose 3 homes
We did.
this time. So you couldn't just pick one lake. You had to
No.
go big or go home, right?
We did. It was hard to choose this one. And we had some great stories. But let's talk about you first.
Okay.
So, you know, one of the first stories you'll see in the magazine this time is about Jacqueline and our management team. Jacqueline, I can mention, just joined us back in December as a VP of Broker Operations after a career so far of 22 years
Yeah.
in real estate. Is that right?
Yeah, 22 years. Started off in 1993, fresh out of high school.
Okay.
And had a full-time career as a cosmetologist and was actually with the support of a great bank president out in Union, Illinois, was able to buy my very first home.
Okay.
And from there
At what age?
at 18.
18.
Yeah, 18 years old. Yeah, 18 years old. But you have to be well qualified. And fortunately, I had a full-time job and was able to do that at that point. Got my education as a cosmetologist through high school and had a full-time career already, graduating school. What a lot of kids today are doing. You know, they're getting their careers started off very early. So I was able to jump into home ownership and loved it so much. Joined the family business. My dad and my uncle and a few of my aunts are realtors. And we're able to start buying fix-up homes and flipping them. And it was a great market. Even then, we had rates like in the 10s, double-digit rates, which is nothing compared to today. Today, it's in the 3s, which some people are even mad it's in the 3.
Yeah.
So it was pretty fun. It's always been ever-changing. All these 22 years, buying homes, selling homes, flipping homes. it never gets boring. It's
No.
so exciting. Real estate is the best industry in the whole world.
Yeah, it really is fun.
Yeah.
And you're in a management role now, not a sales role. So what, just real quick before we move on to some of the more lifestyle part of the magazine, just wanted to ask you, what fuels you? What are you passionate about in the management role and supporting it?
Well, thank
That
you for
way.
asking.
Yeah.
Truly what fuels me, the passion for the industry. Real estate, there's just nothing else like it. And the agents that work in this industry consistently go above and beyond to serve their clients. They subscribe to a code of ethics, making sure that professionalism stays high. We raise the bar in the industry and just making sure that we're taking care of our clients. It's all about service and just serving every client's needs. It doesn't matter if they're buying their very first home. It doesn't matter if their budget's $1 million or $10,000. We want to serve them and serve them well.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that keeps me going, and making sure that our agents, that the Keefe agents, get what they need when they need it. That's the goal.
It's the only
That's
way,
the goal.
So we take care of them so they can take care of our customers. And
Absolutely.
we're very excited to have you on board to help
Thanks.
keep, because that's how kind of been our approach over the years at Keefe Real Estate. So it's great to have someone leading the team who
Thank you.
has that attitude as well. So Jacqueline's going to stay with me here tonight to kind of co-host as we go through. We had a couple of guests who are going to join us, but I guess it's spring, things are getting busier and things come up. So we
Yeah.
lost a couple of our guests tonight, but we
Yeah.
could still go through. We still got some stuff to
Yeah,
talk
we
about,
got
I
so
think,
much good
right?
stuff in this magazine.
The first article in it is one of our Get Real Estates, and it focuses on a company called the Luxury Technology Group, which provides smart home tech to residential customers in southeastern Wisconsin and northern Illinois. What kind of popped out at me in this article was something the business owner said about during the pandemic of there are some industries that are really flourishing, some that are struggling. This is one that is flourishing, and the owners pointed out, it seems kind of obvious when they say it, but I had never thought about it. There's people spending more time at home, want their homes to be a little more teched out.
Absolutely. You can't go to the movie theater, so bring the movie theater home.
Yeah.
And some of the pictures that are highlighted in the magazine are just extraordinary, what people can do in their basement space that, what was it, a playroom before? Well, now you can, really have fun.
Yeah, it's true. What you can do, and then some people working from home needed just a stronger internet connection to work from home. You take that for granted sometimes. So
For sure.
this company apparently has just been going gangbusters, trying to get people set up to just kind of that change in lifestyle that the pandemic has brought. And they're based up in Waukesha. The owner's name is Scott Pipple. They have 5 employees, and they told us that they work on AV, home theater, security systems, outdoor lighting, even some custom shades. They can really do it all. So if you are thinking about doing some tech upgrades, some AV, something to your entertainment system, or maybe boosting that wireless connection, this is a great company based up in Waukesha, and their visit is luxtechnow.com, L-U-X technow.com. So Luxury Technology Group.
Yeah, nowadays with all the kids Zooming in for school and having to Zoom and go to meeting and Google Meet for work, you really need that beefed up internet connection. So luxtechnow.com.
So we'll go to the next one. This is the one you mentioned already a little bit. It was the article, our hometown, no, that's not the right one. Sorry. 3 Homes, 3 Families, Infinite Memories. And I think that's a pretty good title for this when you read through the story. It's 3 pretty different homes on 3 different lakes. But when you read what's really important to the owners and the families that live in these homes, it's kind of the same common theme, is just having a home where they can really get their family together and spend that time bonding and creating memories and just having a great time. And one of the things, again, as we're a real estate company, selling the real estate, of course, is kind of what we do, but it's so much more than that, because it's the lifestyle. It's really boiling down what's important to a person and trying to help them achieve that dream. And these 3 homes, I think, really are all good examples of people who were able to do that. So the first one we have is on Powers Lake, is the McNaughton home on Powers Lake. Did you take a look at that one?
Gorgeous.
Yeah, the McNaughtons have a really long, great story in this area. They actually, that story really starts in the 1980s when they had a family home on Lauderdale Lakes. So this is an interesting one because a lot of our homeowners on the lakes tend to stay on the lakes. This family actually moved from Lauderdale Lakes down to Powers Lake. Once their kids grew older, they wanted to relocate, get a little bit closer to where they live full-time in the Chicagoland area, and Powers Lake does that for them. They found a beautiful property, which is previously known as Honey Bear Farm. I had the opportunity to go visit last summer and check out the house. And one thing that is really cool when you go into this house is they have a huge Adirondack chair, like a majorly oversized Adirondack
Oh, like
chair.
like the photographing ones,
Even bigger.
like
than,
in Milwaukee
enormous.
Oh my God.
And really cool. Like I felt like when I drove in, I was like, that kind of sets the tone for what they're going for.
You're here for relaxation and enjoyment.
Exactly.
Perfect.
And for them, it was also very, of course it was personal home, but it was kind of, I feel like they got to do it all because Paul McNaughton is a property developer and his wife Lynette is an interior designer. So they really got to, put their profession
Absolutely.
to work.
Build your resources. Way to go. Yeah.
No, and the end product is really a gorgeous home on the north shore of Powers Lake that really overlooks Lake, great view of the lake, and is a nice big home, accommodates their entire family. So it's kind of a newer home, and thought just a great example. Here's a family who's been in the area for decades, who enjoyed decades on one lake, decided to try out another one, has really built that dream, and when you read the article, you can tell how important the home, the place is for their entire family and generations. So we love those stories.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The next one up is a really cool home on Twin Lakes, on Lake Mary, a real water skiing retreat. Have you ever gone to the Aquanut ski show?
I have seen the Aquanuts.
Okay.
Yes. Growing up just over the border in Illinois, we had our ski team.
Oh, you
so
did.
the Wonder Lake ski team,
Okay.
which was fantastic. But then, now across the border, we've got the Aquanuts, and they've won a lot of awards too. So it's just a fantastic ski family.
Yeah, the whole it's just incredible. Again, for people who are listening who haven't gone and check it out, in the summer, 2 times a week, they put on a totally free show. You can go
That's
sit by
awesome.
the lake, bring a blanket, watch the ski show. It's incredible. It's such an incredible thing to be able to do. But this family, I bring that up because this family are big water skiers, the Bocos family. So they have primary residence down in Hinsdale, and Michelle and Peter Bocos, they wanted to find a home that would be really perfect for their weekend escapes with their family. And that search led them really to truly one of the most noticeable landmarks on Lake Mary, which is an A-frame that actually sits on the highest point in Kenosha County.
It is actually
Isn't that
our family likes to kayak out on Lake Mary and
Okay.
Elizabeth. And so as soon as we opened up the very first issue, our early release, my daughter was like, "Oh my God, I know that house."
Yeah.
So
and you
yeah,
can't miss that house. Blue, that blue sort of Greek color from Santorini. It's just pops
gorgeous.
out right there on the highest point in Kenosha County, right on the lake. So what a wonderful thing to find for their family. So one thing I read in the article that I kind of jumped out at me, I thought was funny, is there's not a lot of grass. It's on a pretty, but there's a lot of water.
yeah. Well, which is good for a water
For
skiing family.
the Bocos family, that is hugely important. So water skiing, boating, sailing, huge part of their lives, being part of the Aquanuts.
Yeah.
Such a great family. Again, I got to go visit that home and get to meet parents and a bunch of the kids, and they're running around all over the place, going up and down these stairs. Obviously, they're in great shape, going up and down the stairs all the time and water skiing. And yeah, it just made you want to actually have that for yourself. So
For sure.
Again, that story was great. And then the last home we have in our 3 homes, 3 families, infinite memory story, was a really newly built home on Silver Lake, which is just a little bit east of the Twin Lakes. This home was owned by John and Nikki Fernandez, who originally actually had a home in Michigan when they lived in downtown Chicago. But then they moved to the North Shore, and the commute to Michigan was a little bit too long, so they decided to get a little closer.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. That's a long way. We have a cabin up in Three Lakes, Wisconsin, and it's a haul. So it's nice where you can come to this area just a couple hours and be in your vacation home and get into play basically in your backyard.
You know, and one of the reasons we wanted to kind of focus on the Twin Lakes, Powers Lake, Silver Lake areas, because, you know, a lot of the times people know about Geneva, of course,
For sure.
sort of the most known, but there's so many other lakes that have different characters, and these three lakes, and there's more over there too, not only just have a little bit more, you know, a little more chill atmosphere to them, but they're also closer to a lot of those suburbs. So for the Fernandezes, when they started looking, they eventually settled on Silver Lake. They looked at a lot of these other lakes, but they told us they liked Silver Lake because it's a little quieter, a little more calm, a little bit closer to home. And they ended up, it was a great story. They went and drove around and they found a for sale by owner lot, which was, and it turned out that the owner of the lot was one of John Fernandez's partners in his medical practice.
Oh, wow.
So there was a connection there that they didn't realize, and they bought the property on a handshake deal, and they are still friends with the landowners. That's always good. But again, I got to go visit this home, just a spectacular modern home right there on Silver Lake. And they ended up working with John Matusik, who is a local custom builder, who is an incredible builder. He talked to us a bunch about this home too. And you know, John Fernandez had a vision for a timber frame home that was very open and more modern and spacious. And between the architect and John Matusik, they were able to really pull off John's vision. And it's beautiful home.
Yeah, absolutely. The pictures are like house candy. You
Yeah,
have to
I
just
know.
eat it up. You got to see everything.
Yeah, it's so fun to be able to go into these homes, and you know, the result really is this beautiful home on Silver Lake where they spend time with their three boys. It sounds like the boys, of course, have a ton of fun, doing all the stuff out on the lake, tubing, swimming in the pool, swimming in the lake, and the parents enjoy that and also get a little R&R time because it sounds like they're
Yes.
pretty busy professionals down in the city. So, you know, a nice cross selection of different, you know, newer family, a couple multi-generational families. People moving around just shows there's so many different ways you can do it.
Yeah, there's lots of ways to enjoy the lake.
Yep.
Every lake, each one. There's so many great lakes in this area, and just fantastic builders. We've gotten a lot of builders in the
yeah.
magazine to showcase. I mean, just really phenomenal work.
Great quality work. And they know how to build on a lake. And John Matusik is definitely one of those. And
Yeah.
he really helped it. And I think I love reading these because you can get to understand everyone has a different vision. Everyone has different goals. And the way they find it is always so interesting. So that's one of the fun parts of this, working in this job, is helping people do that. So.
Absolutely.
So next up, we have another one of our Get Real Estates on Peck and Weiss. This is a very familiar company for a lot of the people in this area. Do you know about Peck and Weiss?
I don't. This is the
Okay.
first I've heard of them.
Okay, so Peck and Weiss has been Peck and Weiss itself for 35 years. They're based in Lake Geneva. They have actually been named Best of Walworth County every year since 2000. 21 years out of 35 years. That shows something. They're doing something.
They
right.
are definitely doing something right.
Yeah, so Peck and Weiss is heating, cooling. The story does start a little earlier because it was originally Miller Heating and Cooling, and then the current owners bought that, changed it to Peck and Weiss. So it's really about 6 decades of service. Roger Weiss retired and unfortunately passed away in 2019, but Daryl Peck is still active in the business and keeps a focus on that personal touch, which is something that I think we relate to. We really try to keep.
Yeah.
So I always love it when I learn about a company that really has values and focuses on that personal touch because it makes such a difference.
Yeah, and if we've ever needed heating and cooling experts, this has been
Yes.
the time with the, you know, things heating up crazy and then all of a sudden cooling down. I mean, poor Texas and all that they've gone through and the devastation and all that, to have that person in your phone. You know, this is Peck and Weiss. These are the people I can trust. These are the people who truly care about me, care about my family, and will go above and beyond.
We'll show up at 8 o'clock on a Friday night
That's
when you
amazing.
need it.
Yeah.
I use Peck and Weiss personally. They've been great to me. They give a big emphasis on training and giving back to the community, which is another part of our mission.
Yeah.
So that's another thing we share. So I always enjoy reading that. And they've won a lot of national awards. And in 2019, they actually became the second recipient of the Charles Bryant Award, which is given by the Bryant Factory Authorized Dealer that epitomizes the characteristics of the Bryant founder, which are reliability, professionalism, quality, and community spirit.
Oh, that's excellent.
Yes. That's
Yeah,
great
I
to-
recognize that Bryant name. Uh-huh.
Yes. So congratulations to Peck and Weiss on that. Sounds like it's very well deserved. And they have a website too, of course, peckandweiss.com. So if
And now
you-
Weiss is spelled a little different. So
WEIS.
so Peck, P-E-C-K,
Yep.
and the whole word,
Yep.
and then Weiss, W-E-I-S.
Yep.
All right,
Right
awesome.
here in Lake Geneva. Let's move on to our next one. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. We're just flying right along here today. It's working out great. I want to just take a minute to thank the team behind the camera here for getting this live stream. If you, Tyler, Amy, Lindsay, thank you so much. And Jonathan, he's somewhere in here. I can't see him. But, we've gotten... Today is the year anniversary that the pandemic was officially named,
is.
which is an auspicious date. I don't want to talk about it too much, but it's been quite a year. We've learned a lot, and one of those things is how to live stream. And I think even our live stream crew here has gotten better, so thanks for sticking with us through some speed bumps. We appreciate it. Appreciate you tuning in here and being with us tonight. And if you are just tuning in, I'm Tom Keefe, and this is Jacqueline Lechner of Keefe Real Estate. We publish Lake and Country Magazine. We're here in beautiful downtown Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, and we are doing our little live stream of our launch for our newest magazine. This next article is fishing, which you can see on our cover.
Uh-huh.
Pretty proud of this cover. What do you think
Uh-huh.
about it?
This cover is extraordinary. Yeah. I've grown up fishing on Lake Geneva.
Oh.
My dad's a great big fisherman.
Oh, I didn't know that.
My ex-husband's father is a semi-pro, I guess you can say.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, walleye and all that. So
Okay.
he got me out on the boat a few times, and it's a lot different than pond fishing. And you go out and you fight those bass. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
So
it
yeah,
is.
it's more than just kayaking and paddleboard and pontoon boating out on these lakes. There's some really good fish out there.
Yeah, and it's true. I mean, when we talked with Dave Dewey, who was a local guide for 27 years, he gave us a ton of tips. Honestly, he gave us so many tips. I was a little nervous about publishing them, but for some of the hardcore fishermen. But if you are interested in fishing, you really should read the details of this, because he gives some very specific ideas of how to catch fish in the lakes. I'm not going to go through all of it right now, so just
Well,
check
that's
it
why
out.
they read the magazine.
Yeah, read the magazine, or
Right?
hire Dave, even easier. But, I just got to point out, if you're looking at this cover, this is getting very, very detailed, but I love this cover. We got this right at sunrise. This looks like sunset a little bit. This was sunrise. You can even see the lights in Library Park in Lake Geneva,
Yeah.
which are very iconic in Lake Geneva. The lamps when you're in summers, sort of when it gets to twilight and those lamps turn on, it just is one of those scenes that just burns in your memory if you grew up around here. And I love this photograph because you can actually see the lights way off in the distance, and you can see the silhouette of the Geneva Towers way in the background. So yeah, we were very happy with this cover. And this is what it's like when you get up early and fish.
Yep.
It's gorgeous.
Yep.
So not only do you get to catch fish, you get to be out in this incredibly beautiful place.
You do?
So just to go through a couple little things for people who might not know, there's a lot of fish in these lakes. Walleye, like you said, bass, smallmouth, largemouth, northern pike, huge muskie. This guy who's sitting silhouetted here, this guy, go to his Instagram. You could probably find it. We can tag it. You can see some of the muskie he's caught. I mean, these things are like 50 inches long.
Yeah, they're crazy big.
Enormous. So Geneva really, one of the tips that I'll just nerd out with the fishermen for a little bit here because it's coming up, but one of the things he says Geneva is particularly great for smallmouth bass really in early season, like May and June, when the water's still a little chilly and the bass, smallmouth are still in the shallow waters. He said that's really a great time to get out. Also in Delavan, early May for shallow water bass, small bass, 2 to 3 feet of water, he says there, and I never would have thought about that. Let me see,
Now, does he also guide? Does he offer a guide service?
Oh, yes. And he has got a website.
Yeah.
And his information's in the magazine, too. So if you
Excellent.
are looking for a little help, Dave, he has 27 years he's been a guide. So he knows these
He
lakes.
knows these waters. You really need an expert when you get out on the first, otherwise you're going to be disappointed. But you go with the experts, they know all the secret spots.
And he guides on Geneva, Delavan, Como, and Lauderdale. So you
Wow.
can pick your lake. And you get to see them. Remember, it's really, you get to see things from a different perspective. Let me see on here. But you don't necessarily need a boat. One of the things Dave pointed out to us, reminded us, there's a lot of options to fish off of piers, the shorelines, the public parks, particularly in this early season when the fish are a little shallower. You can have some good fishing from the shoreline. If you are interested in a tour, which sounds like you don't need a tour, you got people who can take you out.
Well, yeah, sure.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you know a little bit, but if you are, he offers 4-hour guided tours on those lakes. It supplies you with everything you need. And he has a website too, fishdelavanlake.com.
Fishdelavanlake.com.
Fish.
Yeah, I think guided for the dad, when you don't know what to get dad's had
That's
everything.
true.
It's a perfect get. We have Father's Day coming up soon, so
That's true.
a
Call
great
Dave.
time. And you got to call early because there's one Dave, many lakes and one Dave.
Especially for the smallmouth.
So fishdelavanlake.com.
Fishdelavanlake.com. Call Dave. Look in the magazine. You can find his number
There
in
you
there
go.
too.
There you go.
All right, we're getting towards the end here. We just have, I think, two left. Our next one, so we've talked a little bit about this issue, how we kind of focused on that Twin Lakes, Powers Lake, Silver Lake area. So, of course, we always do a community feature because as a real estate company, we feel that part of our job is really to introduce people to make the match, right? You don't just,
Exactly.
It's not just the house, it's the community. I mean, it's arguably more important than the house.
Absolutely.
So we always feature a separate, different community in each one, and this time we chose Twin Lakes because it's in the little region where we focused on. If you're not familiar with Twin Lakes, it's 6,000 year-round residents, and they really kind of have the best of both worlds down there in Twin Lakes because they have this beautiful lake surrounding them. There's not a lot of people, but it's so close to Chicago and the airports in Milwaukee. It's a really great little community. They're proudly home to the Twin Lakes, which are Lake Mary and Lake Elizabeth. Got their names from the twin daughters of Mary Ray and Jonathan Ineson, early settlers in the area. Obviously, twin girls is always close to my heart. So
Obviously.
I can see why they would name it after their little girls. Early industry in Twin Lakes was ice harvesting.
Ice harvesting, like what you see in Frozen.
Like in the beginning, yeah. If you're twin little girls, you've watched that movie. Yeah. Memorized every frame. Yep, ice harvesting, and it sounds like it was a big industry way back in the day. But I think that it quickly became a destination for people looking for lake homes, of course, because it's beautiful.
It is absolutely gorgeous, yeah.
One thing I read in this I thought was, one of these things that distinctions about it. Twin Lakes doesn't actually have a lot of shopping, like stores like where we are right now in downtown Lake Geneva, but it does have a lot of restaurants and bars where residents meet, catch up, and really enjoy each other's company. I liked the idea of that. It's not a place you go to shop, it's a place you go to socialize and be together, which we know has been challenging this year, but as we move out of the pandemic, that's going to come back in force.
Full force, absolutely.
So I have a feeling
We've all been cooped up long enough.
Yes,
we
we have.
want to get out and enjoy the outdoors and enjoy one another. So yeah, it's a great thing. Go for a stroll. The park right along, what I think it's Liberty Park or something like that. Right down there where they'll have music and they have the carnival.
Oh, yeah. Where you watch
and
the Aquanauts from too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is a great park, and and they're all the restaurants and bars. They have all these favorites. Go and check them out. And what we were also we're told people really love about living there is it's also, if you're not looking to do something on the lakes, there's a lot of great parks in the area. Bong Recreational Area is 4,500 acres. It's only 20 minutes away from Twin Lakes. Jonathan, who's here tonight, lives in the area. He probably should come and tell us about it. The 26-mile prairie trail that runs from the Wisconsin state line through McHenry County. That sounds like a great
Absolutely.
bike ride. 26 miles, you can get your exercise in there. And then for those, I don't know anybody who doesn't know about Country Thunder, but Country Thunder is basically, it's technically in Randall, but it's always identified as a Twin Lakes thing.
Absolutely.
And
Yep.
have you ever been?
Oh yeah.
How many
Yes.
times? I love that. I love it when I get to learn new things about my co-hosts.
How many times? I don't recall how many times. I don't think many people who go to Country Thunder recall how many times they've been. But no, it was always a great time seeing great country artists, newer artists, more national artists. They put on such a great event. And of course you have to have a Johnsonville Brat while you're out there. They've got, the big Johnsonville Brat thing out there. It's a fantastic time. It's a lot of fun.
Have you ever been there when it didn't rain?
Yeah.
You have?
Yeah, scalding hot.
Scalding hot.
Yeah, to the point where you go into somebody's pickup truck that they've turned into a pool.
That sounds pretty fun.
Yeah, because you know what? That's just what you do.
Did they do it last year?
They did not. They
Yeah,
postponed,
okay.
and things are looking up for this year. I mean,
Country
who
Thunder will
knows
be
for
back.
sure, but
But I'll tell you what, if you're going to Country Thunder, book your lodging now, because
For
we have
sure.
a vacation rental company, and those get booked up early for Country Thunder. On the more sort of other side, again with the Aquanuts, we already talked about it, but you got to check out the Aquanuts. It really is a treasure of Twin Lakes.
it is.
Just a great community. So pick up the magazine. You can read some more details. Check out Twin Lakes. Check out property values and that kind of thing, and housing options. But it's such a cool community. I love going down there. And our final feature here tonight is the Stage Stop in Wilmot. Have you ever been there?
I haven't. I've heard amazing things. Is that the place where they have the baked potato with a full stick of butter?
I hope so, because I'm going if it is.
I know. I like that. I've got to try it. I got to try it.
I have not been there myself, I'm a little embarrassed to admit, so I will be going there after reading about it. So just to tell you some of the things, we were going to talk to owners Chad Cantwell and Allie Marshall, but they were so busy, which is great.
That's a great thing.
And after a year of restaurants having a hard time, we understand. Stay there and run the restaurant. So we get to talk about it a little bit. But they have a great story, Chad and Allie, and hopefully we can talk to them someday. They just bought the restaurant 3 years ago, which was a pretty monumental moment in the history of the Stage Stop, because the Stage Stop had previously been owned by the Hackett family for 7 generations.
Oh, wow.
It was started the same year Wisconsin became a state.
Oh, my God.
Trivia, if anyone knows this trivia, 1848, 173 years ago. And it is Wisconsin's oldest tap room and eatery. So
Awesome.
that's pretty cool, just to think that Wisconsin's oldest tap room and eatery, 173 years old, is just a couple miles down the road
Right here,
from us.
yeah.
And the new owners decided to really keep the tradition going. They haven't changed the menu very much since 1961. They've made some tweaks, but fundamentally they focused on 9 main dishes. Steak is a big thing.
Yep.
Lobster. And one of their additions recently that caught my eye was some dessert drinks. They've really gone in on the Wisconsin Supper Club classics.
So like Tom and Jerry and
I don't see that one. Tell
No,
me
Tom
some
and
more. Do
Jerry.
you know some others? I wouldn't have gotten
well,
that
old
one.
fashions. If you come to
For sure, old
Wisconsin, you absolutely must have old fashions. I don't know, what else do they have?
The
what
pink
other things?
squirrel.
Oh,
Ever had one of those?
no.
Grasshopper.
Yes.
Grasshopper.
Yeah, cream de menthe.
Brandy Alexander's.
Oh, yes.
Classic. And they have their own house specialty, the Stagecoach, which I don't know what's in it, but they say they sell a lot of them, so I'm sure it's delicious.
All right.
So not only is it a restaurant, with their history, they need a museum, and they have one on the 2nd and 3rd floors, back in the days when it was known as the Wilmot Hotel. So it was literally along the Stagecoach trails before cars. So people just stop there and stay overnight, tie up the horses, get some food, and it's still running. So Chad and Allie, they said they look forward to operating the restaurant for many years to come, really carrying on those traditions. And it's so comforting when you go to a restaurant that has carried on their traditions. So make a reservation. WilmotStageStop.com is the website. And that is it for our articles.
Well, and great statistics.
We do have some.
You know what? You can't be in real estate these days without talking about some real estate statistics, like nearly double-digit increases in almost every area. So
Yeah.
pretty exciting what's happening in the real estate front. So, of course, we've got great real estate agents. If you're thinking about moving from one lake to another, you could reach out to your Keefe agent and just see what is the value of my property now, because chances are pretty good it's gone up.
Chances are pretty good. There's a reason why people want to move to our area.
Lots
And
of
a lot of
reasons.
them are the things that we are so lucky to be able to cover in Lake and Country.
For sure.
And it's just an endless, like when we talk about each issue, it's an endless ideas, so we have to narrow it down. And you can see in this time when people have made these major changes to their lives, a lot of them are flocking here, and we are very blessed and lucky to be in this spot right now. And, and again, thank you for joining us here tonight to just listen about Spring Lake and Country. Pick it up. There's a lot that we didn't talk about, of course. It's in the magazine. A lot of great pictures, so you can get a visual on what we went over. And hopefully you go and check out a couple of these things if you haven't before. I know I'm going to the Wilmot Stage Stop as soon as I can. How about anything you're going to go check out?
Yeah, for sure. The stage stop. I've got to try what the pink squirrel is. Now I've got to find. Now I've got to learn.
We should have had them here tonight.
Well,
but I don't know how to make one, so I'll have to just go get one at the stage stop. But Lake and Country, again, pick it up. Any one of the Keefe offices, it's all over the place. If you go to our website, you can actually subscribe to it, and it's free. We will mail it to you for free if you want to get it straight sent to your home. If you are wondering about real estate, of course, give us a call. Every home we list goes into Lake and Country. I think what people love to look at homes and the prices and everything, and it's a great place to get your home listed in it. And we will, probably for our next one of these parties, I think we'll be in live in person, but we'll still keep a little live stream element. Hopefully get to interview a few more of our featured people in it next time. But we appreciate you joining us here tonight. And again, we appreciate you just tuning in to us over this past year during the pandemic. We're getting there, close to the end of it. We're going to just keep doing what we love doing, and hope to see you soon. So thanks again, and have a good night.
have a great night.